Hey everybody, welcome welcome back to my channel. My name is Leah Catherine, this is Leah Sees Movies, and today we are talking about Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Okay, no, we're not, but if you haven't seen it yet, you should go see it. It's really good. Like, it has no business being that good, so I want to throw that in there. But what we're actually doing is we're starting season 4 of Young Justice. Season 3 was a lot. There were ups, there were downs, but I've heard mostly good things, well, up until last episode, and then a couple of you were like, actually, you're gonna hate like the first 5 episodes. So, you know, I'm a little concerned, but it's okay, we'll work past it. It's supposed to get better. Yeah, so, I mean, I know we're gonna explore a bit more of the outsiders. I'm assuming we're gonna circle back to Brion and him being mind controlled by the obvious bad guy is obvious, and also Dr. Jace, who is now back. And it's so easy because my brain was like, why would he ever let Dr. Jace back into his fold? And I'm like, oh yeah, mind control. Yeah. The Light is still going to be trying to figure out how they can manipulate Violet against Darkseid and all of, you know, her abilities that are never really explained and don't appear to have a real limit. So I'm curious if we're going to reach that limit this season, or if like her abilities are just going to continue to grow and grow and grow until she is a Darkseid worthy adversary. Also, Black Lightning is going to be the head of the Justice League. We'll see how that goes. But also, Artemis is going to be the head of the team, which I really, really love. Just love my girl. And maybe one day we'll see Zatanna again. And also Karen's genetically modified baby. Will that come back? I don't know. Sometimes they just sprinkle in a plot line that doesn't go anywhere. All that to say, there's a lot from season 3 to keep building on and keep growing with. So I'm going to stop speculating, stop talking. Let's get started.
That they're welcoming new members, Terra,
Oh,
Forager,
we're actually picking up right where we left off.
You're a public hero now?
Maybe we're picking off right where we left off. Wait! I just realized I forgot to watch the post-credit scene from last episode. Hold on. Oh! Oh! Are Lobos flammable? The hell? That's crazy, because I think I cut this from the video, but when I was watching it, I was like, is that a butt? Then I was like, that's immature humor, Leah, and so I cut it. But it was a butt. And it was a tiny baby Lobo, I guess, but then Lobo killed him. So are Lobos, do they grow in like in eggs? Or, and he was just like, I'm not ready to be a parent. Like, also when he threw a cigarette at it and it exploded. So are Lobos full of gasoline? We haven't seen him in like since season like episode 2. Also, what does that have to do with anything? Like, Lobo hasn't been set up as like a genuine threat, so I'm not like, oh, Lobo's back. It's just, I guess it's funny and weird, a little off-putting. Okay. Anyway, back to the show. As I was saying, this is like the first time we've really picked up right after the end of the last season. But I think they did do that last season, and then they fast forwarded like 5 years. I feel like there's going to be another jump because Calder has a beard in one of the thumbnails. Also, why are they making me rewatch the scene? I'm kind of skipped through it the first time. Is this another way they're trying to save money?
You'll still have me.
This is an awful way to start the season, guys. You're right.
I know, can you believe it? We're really gonna be married.
Yeah.
Is this
Twice?
Yeah, 1 year later.
You said it did.
See, this show does. There's always a jump.
He still won't speak to me. Have you tried? Not recently. Good morning, happy couple.
Just making last-minute preparations and waiting for Gar.
I believe he was dealing with some final logistics for the outsiders. Be here soon.
Hey, that girl.
Hey, Violet!
Good morning, Harper.
Good morning.
Harper has a crush?
Sorry. Your coffee, Mrs. Carr?
Thank you, Mr. Carr.
Jesus Christ, I should save this for next week. Leave it as a Valentine's Day episode. What is happening?
We live in a house with a spaceship and a giant white wolf.
Wolf is still alive. Honestly, I was concerned.
And you're sure you don't mind the month-long trip each way?
Nah, I can use the sleep.
Month-long
Guess
trip.
you'll be missing Perdita.
Oh yeah, totally, but we could probably both use a breather.
Ew. A 2-month breather? Hamster ball.
All the necessary supplies and equipment are safely stored and ready for our journey.
Well, guess this is goodbye. We'll see you all back here in 3 months for the wedding.
So, hold on. Are they gonna, like, not be in the central narrative for, like, a good 6 episodes? 7? 8? They're gonna come back next episode, I can tell, just to spite me, but hold on. Oh my god.
We're off to Mars. And yes, that's another thing I never thought I'd say.
Hey, that ring again. Oh. New intro. I like it. All the other intros are kind of like the last season. Satana's in the intro. Does that mean she's actually Rocket's in the intro? Are they gonna matter this season? Because yeah, last season's intro was just like the Earth on fire, apocalypse, and then like a DNA strand. This was like people. No, we're gonna follow them.
Please tell me you'll show better manners at my parents' home.
Sorry. I know I've been a little cranky this trip.
A little?
Does Gar have to get his GED? It doesn't seem like he's in school, and he's just taken off for 3 months. A tutor? Like, does someone make him take end-of-year exams?
She's excited to be home too.
The Mars rover. That's funny. Alaka Andra. That's fun.
Martians breed large families, so like most of our cities, the capital, Ma'alaga Andra, is constantly expanding.
Feels like... I mean, if all of y'all are having like 10 kids each, eventually you're gonna reach a point where that's not awesome for the status of Mars. But none of my business.
Fortunately, I picked up a few tricks last time we were here. And the Ma'arzu beast is my favorite.
You need to watch your thoughts. There's very little distance telepathically between thinking something and saying it.
Right.
Welcome to Mars. You honor us with your presence.
I kind of love whoever created Mars as a concept in the comics and was like, what if we just add an apostrophe?
I am the chief scientist bureaucrat of the Science Center.
Wait. You're the chief scientist? In charge of the Zeta Project.
Why wouldn't I be?
Little attitude there.
Sorry. Connor Garfield, this is my sister,
Oh.
Marie Moors.
Hello, Uncle John.
Hello, Emery.
I forgot his thing where he said he straight up does not know most of his nieces and nephews.
I'd like you both to feel more comfortable here. So perhaps if I changed forms?
It isn't necessary to change your form for us.
Especially if you're gonna creep me out by looking like my mom.
Megan was being creepy first.
I always preferred Hello Megan's Rita character anyway.
Oh yeah, that's much better.
Oh, poor childhood trauma.
Mom and Dad are eager to see you. I've arranged transportation.
That won't be necessary.
We want to see the city.
And you're being a little suspicious with that glance to the side there. Also, oh boy. Jess, McGann, and Connor. Yay. Could Beast Boy just turn into a Martian? I still don't really get the limitations of his abilities.
I'd forgotten how much psychic noise there is on Mars.
Earthers, no surprise they're here with that shit.
Not all of it pleasant.
It's not all bad. Some of it's
Yeah.
weird. Beast Boy!
I thought I could be part of something until I showed
Everyone,
What? That's a lot of hostility. I get in the middle of
the
this.
outsiders can handle it.
Stop and disperse! Now!
I like reminders that McGann's extremely powerful. Also, I feel like they're so like, ooh, manners. And the fact that the fans were just like, oh, that ring again. The fans were just like, oh, I'm not getting in the middle of this. Psychically attacking people on the street seems like that would be not polite. You bio cavern. Oh, are they born? Does Bioship have siblings? Why is Bioship the only red one? They should have brought Forager. Forager would be so happy here.
Oh, McGann, you're home.
Welcome, my child.
Oh, she's biracial.
Good to see you again, sir.
And you, Connor, but please call me Ma'at.
Matt. It's just the most bland names with an apostrophe.
Indeed. And we are gratified you've come all this way for the traditional service.
We have found a
I'm-
sorcerer priestess.
Basic Martian caste system. The red blood in Martians are the royalty and nobility. The Garoon are the ethnic majority. And the Aashen are the ethnic
Whoosh.
minority. But where did the Yalon sorcerer priesthood come from?
That's kind of a weird thing to do the minute you meet someone. Like, hey, can you explain your caste system to me? Granted, he said he'd been there before, but still.
It was nice meeting Emery.
Yeah, but what about McGann's other 27 siblings? I mean, I met McCom last trip before he,
Yes, we are well aware of what Macomb has become.
That's so many kids. I have to assume the birthing process is much easier because, Lord, no one has 29 kids if it feels like human pregnancy.
I demand you stop all this at once. Ma'az has no need for a Zeta tube to Earth. These Earthers were brought here by your freak of an Aashen sister.
Whoa. This has gotta be like an HR violation at the very least.
Reach to bring more Earthers to Ma'az, contaminating our culture with strange ideas.
I mean, yeah, caste systems aren't awesome.
With your Ma'al Earther broadcasts.
And I regret
You backed up though. You backed up though. You're like, you don't actually want smoke with him. Also, he hates Earth so bad that you're wearing an ascot. Like, I don't know.
Nice things had gotten this bad.
Worse than you know, Uncle.
But like, can everyone, like that other guy, that other engineer, he's just listening to this conversation? I don't like that.
never enough
Private
sleep.
channel?
Yes.
So what's the deal?
Okay.
You don't have to be psychic to grok that your folks are way less whelmed than last time we were
Oh my
here.
gosh.
And out on the street.
They're gonna keep
things
making
got
new
ugly
words, huh?
Fast.
Don't worry.
But also, credit to the animation, the way it went out of focus when they did the private channel. Also, wait, was that the dad wearing a ring? The ring was on the floor, so one of the parents had to have been wearing it.
Go home! Go back and take that Ma'al Aashen with you!
That's new.
What does
Ew.
it say?
It's a very bad word for Ashen. And an even worse word for Earthling.
I wonder if they're gonna be racist to Bioship too. Could you imagine? They're all just like, no. Oh, okay. They're all melting. I was like, oh, I was joking. But if they're like fully sentient, why are you flying around as a transformer?
What is going on? Tensions have definitely escalated.
I'm trying to look at their hands. I swear I saw a ring reflection on the ground.
Moving openly through the city escalated things.
That's why they were like, please don't walk. Private taxi, close the door.
Things have gotten much worse since the death of the king. Saturn Axe was a progressive ruler, gradually trying to mitigate our caste system to improve the lives and status of the Aashen. He believed in cooperation between our planets. But he was murdered last month.
So we're kind of rehashing what happened with Brionne's parents. Like, yeah, meta people are cool, and we're...
extremely hard to get away with on a world where everyone is psychic.
Makes sense. It's like, we're gonna take in refugees, and then immediately gets killed.
Garoon blame the Aashen.
Why would you blame the minority who is... So the king was like, this minority are like people, and then he gets killed, and they're like, we think that minority did it. That doesn't even make sense.
We are here, Macam Ma'oz. That is no longer my name. Now and forever, I am Ma'alefa'at. We all know Garoons killed the king to stop Aashens from gaining our rights. Yet, the Queen has rolled back what little gains we made. The Earthers are allied with the Garoons, thanks to Ja'an Ja'ons.
It's your uncle, bro. Also, I wouldn't say the Earthers are aligned with them. The Earthers don't really... I mean, as far as I'm aware, none of them really know that there's a difference. Besides people who are intimately acquainted with Martians, which is like 25 people on Earth. Aw, are they making little bioship babies? Are they falling in bioship love?
The Zeta tube is ready for testing. You may proceed. The Queen approves.
I'm actually really loving this animation. Like, the planet looks so cool. The Martian character designs. Like, I like that Martians are actually really creepy looking. Because, like, human instinct is just to go, ooh, a little freaky looking.
Gar, chill. She's just trying to help.
Yeah, sorry, McGann.
I mean, granted, his head hurts.
We must cooperate with Earth because our galaxy is full of dangers to Mars.
Also, Earth is really close by. Like, it's a close neighbor who can be an ally.
Must you leave, big brother? You only just arrived. And the wedding.
I will send her to the watchtower and set her right back here. It will be fine.
I mean, based off how scared she is, I don't think she thinks you can get back.
Which ones are being used by Apocalypse?
Oop. Got him.
We've got you.
Very good, McGann. No one else detected me. Save you, my sister.
I'm her brother, not you. You don't deserve to have McGann for a sister.
Gar, not now.
Beast Boy's anger issues are only getting worse.
Apocalypse is the danger.
You're ignoring
Facts.
the danger to our culture, our way of life.
Okay, but if everyone kills you, that's a bit more danger to your way of life than, like, cosplayers.
Manhunter.
I've checked McComb's mind. He only just arrived and didn't have time to do anything.
And he's not drooling, so progress.
All know of Ja'an Jones, our greatest Mahunter.
Martian Manhunter. Mahunter.
Do we not trust Ja'an Jones?
Ooh, people are backing out.
Fools, don't leave. John Jones has brought the other corruption to our world.
He is a true hero.
Yeah, I got real bad feelings about this Zeta tube. Yeah, no. Y'all couldn't have thrown in, like, a guinea pig, maybe? No offense to guinea pigs. Like a drone. And not... Ooh.
As you know, Black Lightning, Jefferson, has put a priority on mental health.
Canary's back with the therapy.
Gabrielle's faith was very important to her. So important, I cannot bring myself to remove the hijab she wore. I think I need to explore whether or not Islam holds meaning for me, as it did for her.
I mean, that's kind of an interesting little end note, but also, honestly, at no point, besides the fact that Violet never removed the hijab, it never seemed like Islam meant anything to her, which, I mean, a lot of things is kind of just, you know, diversity win. Every single thing about Violet, but none of it, Violet was never defined by any of these things, and in this case, it actually kind of was negative, because it's like, oh, you're not necessarily defined by your religion or your sexuality or your gender identity, but it is who you are. It does shape who you are. So the fact that she kind of had all these things of, like, you know, is Muslim, bisexual, non-binary, all these things, and it never really meant anything to Violet, because Violet was just kind of like, I am basically a sentient robot in a human body, and I'm just doing my best. So it's like all these labels that were applied didn't really mean anything. This wasn't this character, like, reacting to the world from a place of having these gender identities or characteristics. This was essentially a robot who was just like, sure, whatever. So I think that's an interesting, as an end note, because it attributes a lot more credit to Islam and Violet ascribing any meaning to it whatsoever than we ever saw her do in the previous season. But alright, so that was episode 1 of season 4, all about Mars. And Mars I do find interesting. The characters by which we get to Mars, not as much. And so for the person who said I wasn't going to like the first 5 episodes of this season, if you meant because my 3 least favorite characters, Connor, I mean, I wouldn't say Connor's my least anymore, but still like not top tier. Generally my bottom tier characters are all going to be the focus and on a completely different planet away from all the characters I do like, if that's what you meant. Oh no. That's a lot of episodes to not have any characters that I really enjoy. Even John, who I do love. If you've ever listened to me talk about JLU, I freaking love Martian Manhunter. And they blew him up. So, don't love that for me. But I do like Mars. I like Mars. I like Martians. I like exploring their culture. I like the animation in this episode. I think the character designs are really gorgeous. So all of that was great. I'm curious to see what this ring business is about to be. I think we have a lot of secret organizations on this world already. Like that shot where something happens and then they zoom out and there's just like someone watching on a screen. We've gotten a lot of those types of shots on this show so far. So I'm hoping it doesn't remain a mystery for long. I kind of don't feel like I want to draw it out. I want it to be like, oh, maybe 1 or 2 episodes of like, wow, what's this ring business? And then, oh, that's who it is. Like, let's just put a name on our enemy and let's get going. I am curious if the people with the rings that we saw on Earth are also Martian and are just, I guess, keeping an eye on McGann, because actually, yes, the person with the ring was the waitress who was serving McGann and Connor. So it would track if it's like they just want to keep the Martians, whatever cult sect this is, this anti-Earth, anti-white Martian group is like, let's keep an eye on all the most prominent Martians and Earthlings, which, there we go. And if that's the case, I mean, Martians being the big bad is kind of interesting. I like that as an idea, especially because we don't get to play with them as much usually, and with how powerful they are. So like that could make for like a really interesting concept. Obviously, he's like, hey, it's really hard to get away with murder on Mars when everyone is psychic. So is the person who killed the king Martian, or did they like pop in, kill the king, pop out? They're not from Mars at all, and they like Lobo was the cliffhanger of the last season. So did someone hire an assassin and just kill the king? Or, but I mean, even then, Martians are telepathic. It doesn't mean that they'd be immune to telepathy, but it makes sense that it wouldn't be someone who like killed the king and now they're just walking around. Like, very unlikely you could remain on Mars after doing that kind of crime without someone figuring out who you are and what you did. So it stands to reason it's a non-Martian, or at least someone who is no longer living on Mars. They're destroying our culture, our way of life. Look at them dressing up, putting on costumes, watching TV. The worst, right? When will the kids put the screens down? I'd like to see Black Canary in a fight again, because as much as I do love Black Canary, PhD therapist, I like watching her sonic scream at people too. So if we could do that again, that would be nice. Also, a bad feeling about Gar, because I was asked not to join the Gar hate train that a lot of people do when season 4 starts, which means he's gonna get worse before he gets better. So I'll just have to, you know, namaste. They all get through their angry phase. They all get through their angry phase eventually. But what about their wedding? You know, that's the important part. How are they gonna get married in this very chaotic, someone's gonna hate crime their wedding, it's gonna be like a Planned Parenthood bombing, it's gonna be a whole thing. That's no fun. Also, your uncle getting murdered before your wedding does kill the vibe a little bit. Like, do you lose your venue? Can you reschedule? If someone, like, if you call the florist, are they still gonna take like a 50% off because you canceled within like 1 month? You know, event planning is very difficult, and hate crimes really would impact the bottom line. I have real concerns about if they're ever gonna get their deposit back. Anyway, also, you think your parents would tell you that everyone's really racist now. Like, that seems like the kind of thing you should maybe DM me when I'm like, hey, I'm coming back to plan my wedding. And you're just like, ooh, should we tell her that they're like vandalizing the house and also they kind of hate her? Should I mention that? No, just have her sister like send her a private Uber, like it'll be cool, maybe she won't notice. They're burning crosses on in front of your house and you don't mention that when she comes back for her wedding. Yeah, actually I think the real villains here are McGann's parents, because that's They did her dirty. I'd be furious if my parents did that to me. It's like, if you ask your mom to move back home and you get home and they're like, yeah, our house was destroyed in a tornado. Like, you didn't think that was salient knowledge to provide to me before I got here? Awful. Yeah, I think that is all I have for this episode. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if this is going to be like an entire season-long arc or just maybe the next 4 to 6 episodes. A lot of new characters, new worlds being introduced, which I really love. I mean, you're working with a story, a universe that has multiple worlds, galaxies, aliens, all of that. So like, yes, show it to me, let's have fun with it. So all that part I'm really, really excited for. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, comment, etc. All those good things to make me very, very happy. If you don't want to do any of that, but you've watched all the way to the end of this video, thank you. I still really, really appreciate you. You can follow me on the Bird app at Leah Sees Movies, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace!